Ladies, and I guess gentlemen, it's time to slip into something more comfortable and lay yourself down in front of one of your many fireplaces. Because I'm doing another recap on All's Fair. Today, we're going through episode 4, titled, Everybody Dance Now! I have been covering this series from beginning to miserable end. Because I hate myself! It's also worth noting that I'm a Critics' Choice member and a certified Rotten Tomatoes critic until they start figuring out what I do on this channel. Anywho, if you find yourself enjoying these breakdown videos, feel free to sub to the show Adam Does Movies on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Okay, alright, let's see what these dumb hoes are up to this time. We open with food porn, and now this is the only way I can achieve climax. The candles are lit, the entree prepared, and Emerald Green is dressed to the tens, as is often the case, to sit down for a nice meal when her garbage kids interrupt. And I'm pretty sure if they would have came in even a minute later, they would have saw their mother making sweet love to some mini pancakes. The queen kicked her kids out so she could enjoy a meal in peace. By the way, these young gentlemen are some of the most well-behaved kids I've ever seen, and yet Emerald treats them like they're these rambunctious little shits that need to be put in their place at all times. And I love that for her. The title card hits. All's fair. Taste the rainbow. More food. This time it's lunch with the gals, as it often is. And this week, Emerald Green's Pokemon evolution is that of Vaporeon, one of the Eeveelutions. It's a water type. Kim, on the other hand, looks to be wearing one of her dad's old pantsuits. They're once again dishing about how awful guys are. However, Naomi Watts recently went fishing and she caught herself a keeper. She reeled herself in a catch of the day in the form of a man, and she's engaged to him. And you know she's engaged because she's wearing a boulder as a wedding ring, which is definitely worth more than I have in my savings account. Nothing. Which one of these gals' snatches do I have to crawl up inside to get some of that cash money? Blue Carmen Sandiego is blabbing about being single and how great it is. Kimberly Kardashian takes Emerald out shopping for a new dress, and you know they're not going to that ghetto-ass Nordstrom's rack. No, sir. This is some upscale place that you've never heard of. Honestly, it could just be one of Kim Kardashian's closets. I don't really know. I do know this. Out of the 4 episodes I've watched, these women each own more clothing than I have in my entire life. I'm doing great. Green shows off her new dress to her boys, and one of them playfully jests that she looks bangable. Gross. The dress is stunning. It's a gorgeous ensemble. I especially love the tasteful, bejeweled upper section of the dress that looks like a gentleman gave her a very fancy pearl necklace. If you know, you know. The guys are happy for their mom, and they even do a celebratory dance with a chant that says, Mom about to get it on. Mom about to get it on. Gross. I just love this family so much. We roll up to the club. Lato's Big Energy is playing on the jukebox. Bad bitch, I could be a fantasy. I could tell you got big dick energy. Ain't too many I gotta stop. Have to stop there. Emerald's friend welcomes her to the singles mingle. But Green's like, shut the fuck up, already distracted by the tall glass of chocolate milk across the room. In fact, she looks like she's about to emerald cream in her pants just looking at the guy. The man offers her a drink. And don't get me wrong, he's definitely interested in putting a little cream in his coffee. But first, he's gonna get her a real drink. She requests an amaretto sour, and the look he gives her is both delight and intrigue, like, oh, a woman of high sophistication or something. I'm not gonna lie to you, drinks aren't my bag, baby. I googled what a typical amaretto sour runs. It's between $5 and $15 at your normal type of establishment. But since we're in the world of All's Fair, I imagine this drink ran him about $15,000. Oh shit, there it is. In the background, CNC Factory's magnum opus. Everybody dance now. Everybody dance now. Can I feel a minute? Dan, dan, dan. Motherfucking dance now. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ha-da-da-da-da-da. Ha-da-ba-da-da-da. Scat. Okay, it's time for her to bring that milkshake to the yard. And we have a dance montage that starts fun enough, but things take a turn very quickly into a dark place. Holy shit, did he just Cosby her? Emerald Green awakens battered and bruised. I'm pretty sure she said Jell no to whatever he was putting down, but she doesn't remember. We just get flashes of the fight that ensued. She is thankfully in her own house, and she appears to be alone. And one thing is very certain right now. I'm fucking pissed. And if I'm pissed, imagine what her 3 little cubs are going to be feeling when they find out. Oh man, do we have an episode. Now at the hospital, a doctor informs Green that they have run a kit. It's going to take a few weeks before the results are in. So they don't have any definitive proof of what went down. Emerald calls up her bestie Kim, and she breaks down over the phone. This would have been a really touching moment had the camera guy not accidentally held the zoom button down while recording, so we're just all up in her business. Those lips are taking up about 80% of the screen. The 4 horsewomen have just learned about the roofie situation. Dina the Destroyer is not happy. I think Kim is upset too, but she can't act, so it's hard to process what she's going through. And Naomi Watts is just happy to be in the room. They don't give her any speaking lines, really. She's just there. I don't know what happened, if they thought she was going to get busy with real work, so they just didn't give her any lines of dialogue. But if she is for some reason showing up to set, they can just put her in the scene and she'll just be one of the gals. And that, more often than not, seems to be what's happening. Well, between the secret embryos Kim is carrying and this new sexual assault deal, we have plenty to cover in this episode. There's no reason to throw anything else, and we're doing another client of the week. On the previous episode, we had Jessica Simpson, which I foolishly thought was going to carry over for more, but I guess that story ended, and I just didn't see it. This week's client is played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, and the dirtbag of a husband goes by the name of Matt. Here's an interesting one. He wants kids and she doesn't, so he's gonna withhold, checks notes, sex. As guys often do. The fact that she could have kids and is electing not to hits Kim right in the womb because she wants nothing more than to carry little chaselings in her body. Chaselings is referring to her, I think husband Chase. I don't know if they're divorced yet. I don't think they're divorced yet. Oh shit, the queen bee herself, Sarah Paulson, is back, baby! Her deliciously devilish car is talking to Kim and Emerald. It has been about 3 minutes since the show started, so we already have a costume change. Kim now looks like a dapper hooker, and Emerald Green looks to be wearing the hide of a zebra she just slayed. Carr tells the ladies that as much as she would love to finish off the pleasant cocktail pleasantries, she's got bigger fish to fry. Pleasant cocktail pleasantries. That seems redundant, but what the fuck do I know? This season just got renewed for a second one. I hate myself. Carr is representing that god-awful pile of trash, Matt, who is suing his wife for not bearing children. But the plot thickens when it's revealed that she actually carried one about 10 years back, but had it aborted. Finally, the victimization of men is coming to the surface. And that line of dialogue from Carr really seemed to touch a nerve, as Emerald Green is shot out of a cannon furious. Kimberly gives her a soft touch on the hand to calm her down. You know, they did a blink and you'll miss shot of Kim's jacket from the back, and it looks more like a hospital gown. Not in style, but in function. This thing's dumb as fuck. And I'm definitely the person that should be judging fashion. I'm wearing an E.T. sweatshirt. I'm an adult. All right, the ladies have decided, in their infinite wisdom, that they're gonna set the aborted baby bitch on the sidelines for a second so they can figure out who did this to Emerald Green. Yes! Now we're talking, gals. Emerald's friend is back that we saw Richard Pryor at the club. She hands her some intel that could possibly lead them to this mystery man that drugged her. She says to Green, and I quote, "I hope this helps, because you know I don't play about you, right?" That's not English. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. Later that day, the mystery man resurfaces via text, sending Green some very tasteless messages, including a photo or two of her bound and gagged. Emerald, now in full Carmen Sandiego attire, is clearly not fucking around. Dina the Last Dinosaur and Kim K are back, and Kim, now dressed as Paris Hooker Barbie, is all business. She took those photos that Green gave her and had them cleaned. Again, what? What does that mean? From what I could tell, translates to I pinched and zoomed in on my phone and there was an address on the envelope on the floor in one of the photos. Got it cleaned. You know, knowing this show and the idiots that are behind it, they probably have at one point paid some expert thousands of dollars to clean or scrub a photo. And the jackass is just someone like me that's like, oh yeah, that'll be $5,000. Here's your photos I just zoomed in on in Photoshop. Now in a parking lot, Niecy Nash meets up with one of her old co-stars from Reno 911. That was a much better show than this. Cedric Yarbrough sets down the police officer badge and instead picks up a police officer badge. That was a stretch. He used to be Green's partner when she was on the force. Unfortunately, they have nothing to stick yet to this mystery guy. Back at the Green household, she is, for once, allowing her kids to eat with her. She ends up telling the boys, for me, myself, and Irene, what happened. Words cannot describe how livid they are, and quite frankly, how livid I am. They do go in for a nice hug it out bitch moment. I'm pretty sure one of them was half-masked during this, but we'll move on. Carr, who's always in a hurry, is back at the ladies' law firm to wrap this case up. You know, the one that started like 4 minutes ago and has had almost no movement. We're done with it, because as it turns out, Matt is going to be a proud father-to-be anyways, as his new girlfriend is knocked the fuck up. So out with the old, in with the new. Bye, Felicia. I got a better model of you at home. No need to drag this out anymore. I don't know why this plot exists. I guess it's the harsh reminder that Kim K's character, who's Kim Kardashian as far as I'm concerned, is unable to have children of her own. Again, if she had any sort of acting ability, perhaps this would be a powerful scene. After a very intense episode so far, thankfully we get some comfort food. Literally, we're having dinner with the ladies once more. I feel a sense of completeness when I'm welcomed into the room with these ladies as they talk shop and have some fancy-ass meal. I can't pay for health insurance, but I'm sure that salad was made to perfection. Detective Ray Delgato interrupts, that's the Reno 911 guy. He informs the lawyers that the roofier has a name. His name is Walton, and he's dead. Right now, they're ruling it as a suicide, but homicide's still very much on the table, if more evidence comes along. And holy shit, do my eyes deceive me? Naomi Watts is getting a chance to speak. She gently tells him to piss right off, and that's going to be her entire contribution to the episode. Well done, Liberty. Dina tries to turn down the temperature by talking to her protege Green. Big mistake. This gave Emerald the perfect opportunity to trauma dump all over her white ass, basically blaming her for this entire situation. If she wouldn't have suggested Emerald get back out in the town, this never would have happened. Situation. Short for situation. Back at the Green residence, she confronts her boys about the supposed suicide that took place, wondering if this is the squad responsible. They look at each other puzzled and then back at Mama Grizz stating, "What, you think we're some kind of suicide squad?" They swear they had nothing to do with it, and then give each other the least subtle looks of guilt I've ever seen in anything ever. Hey, what are you talking about, Mom? We've been playing video games. We got nothing to do with it. We're working here. Get out of here, you old tramp. We did it. We got away with it. Hey, Mom! No, we're just playing games. Yeah, we'll have some lunch. Wendy's sounds great. Thanks, bye. And that's all, folks. The episode is thankfully done. 4 episodes of the show in the can, with many more to come. I'm almost caught up to the real-time playbacks. We'll see if I can get there. With your help, I will. Feel free to sub once again to Adam Does Movies on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. There is a hype ability on YouTube. I don't even know how it works, but apparently you can hype a video. So I would absolutely appreciate if you used one of your precious hypes on this video right here. Share it around, tell your mom, tell your dad, and that's all I got for you. Hopefully I catch you next time. Everybody dance now. Yeah.